Hello and welcome to the Halo Forge Epidemic. This is Oakley HiDef and I'm here to bring you a new map, and this one is a miniature map called Two Cities, and it was brought to you by a member of the community, and his name is Le Pond Le Duc. So this is a really cool map with lots of nice little details that I've incorporated myself into a couple of my maps, and I think he's done a great job expanding, the breadth of stuff you have to draw on when you're making miniatures. So I think this is a good example of what you can do with miniature stuff, especially when you're tackling, maybe an urban setting or an industrial setting. So he's got a lot of stuff here you can learn from. So as I said, the map itself has two different cities, and each of them is a little distinct from the other. They do bear some similarities, but overall he's done a good job of separating them, making them different. So over here would be presumably the more urban center, where you can see all these different layering. I think layers. What he's done is he made a good effort to basically to add a lot of variety to his thing. What you see is a whole host of different shapes, different geometries, different colors in the whole ensemble of this area here. So it's not too repetitive, and what that does is it makes it really cool to look at, and it makes you want to explore to see all the differences. So what he's done is he put a bunch of different blocks of different sizes here sticking up, and then in the middle what he's done is he's incorporated different shapes. Like this is just the part of a corner of a platform here, so he's added inclines here. Then what he's done is he's used a lot of these platforms here. This is part of a dish, and then right here this is circular ramp small. So he's used curves and all that to change it up and really throw you off a bit and keep you looking around for different details, which I thought was really neat. And that's what you want to do when you're building these maps, obviously, is add a lot more, draw the observer in. And what you can also see to add to the sort of the depth and perhaps the theme of his map are all these floating weapons, which presumably would be carrying, residents of the city to and from here and there. Maybe they would go up in space. And what's really cool about this is he hasn't just had them flying around. He's actually sort of done a theme. So over here, this is where they might be resting and taking off. Over here is another perhaps holding pen for the different vehicles, or maybe these are supposed to be some sort of land vehicles. This one seems to be rearing up. Maybe it's going to take off. So he's made a lot of different things. And the thing I liked the most was the sort of the launching pads that he's made. I thought that was really ingenious, and I've used it on one of my maps myself. So what he's done is he's made use of the teleporter nodes here without having them active, at least these. And then what he's done is he's made his ships using a gravity hammer and two Spartan lasers on either side to be maybe the holders of the tanks. And what's really cool about this, if you actually look at the geometry of the Spartan laser, it's built up nicely. And right here, where the laser would shoot out of, that's presumably where the canister for the fuel of the ship would be. So I think it looks really cool. He's made full advantage of the geometry of the Spartan laser itself. So I think that looks really nice. And then what's even better is over here, what he's done is he's used a combination of an active teleporter frame and also, a teleporter node, and in combination with a light to make it look like this spaceship here has just taken off. So I thought that was really ingenious. As we take a look around, joining the two cities, what you can see is a railroad, which is really cool, the base of which uses just these different dish pieces. And as you move along, I love what he's added. So in the shallow water, you see a barge between the two cities carrying supplies or rubble. So maybe it's a trash barge that just maybe there's some construction over there, or it's been carrying the supplies to and from whatever. It still looks like a really cool ship that adds theme. So that's in the shallow water. And in the deeper water, what he's done just offshore is he's added this oil rig here, which I think is really nice, adds a lot to the theme. And the way it's built is he has these braces on either side. These are nice pieces. They come all in one. So what you do is you lower it here, and this way the part at the top serves as a wall for your oil rig, and then the parts on the sides as for the structural support. So I thought that was really convincing. Then what he's done is he's got a bunch of these sort of cargo boxes here scattered around. And then over here, this would either be a control tower, or this would be where the drill would be centered. And over here, this arm would raise and lower maybe supplies, or presumably it could potentially lower the drill into the water where he would come and drill the oil if there's a reserve under here. So I thought that was really cool. And then the city over here I thought was pretty neat. He's changed it a bit from the geometry over there, where that one I said was more of an urban center with, you know, a bunch of different buildings, a lot of variety. This one looks a little bit more monolithic. Everything is bigger slabs, so it looks a little bit more industrialized. And this is where you see most of the large ships flying around. So he's used this platform walkway large here to add a little bit more you know, pieces coming up over the train track here. He's borrowed one of the trains from Museum of Humanity, and he's also added some new stuff, which I thought was really neat. So over here he's built a church using blocks and columns, and over here he's made a nice cemetery, which I thought was really neat, really cool. I've never thought of building something like this. So that's one of the things I like about this map, is he adds a lot of little small details that you can use in future maps and be inspired by. Over here you can see another one of his landing and or launching sites. And then over here, the train track winds its way over to the docks right over here. He's made a capture plate here that might be, you know, the sign of the city, the welcome banner, which I thought was really neat. Over here, silos that might be holding fuel. And then what he's done is he's connected it to the ship here. The ship over here holds spikers, which might be little ships that can take off. And then over here he's got the control tower, and over in the front he has a tri-barreled gun here. So this is definitely some sort of battleship or man of war. So I thought that was really cool. And overall, I just love this map. I love all the detail put into it and the creativity. So thanks, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This has been Oakley HiDef with the Halo Forge Epidemic. Be sure to like the video and give your support to the creator of the map. And also, for reference, for those of you who want to submit maps, please go ahead and check us out on Facebook. THFE, there's two pages. One of the THFE pages there is made by a community member, and he does a good job of maintaining it. But I would recommend you submit the THFE maps to our main THFE page, and there send us a message with your gamer tag and the name of your file, and hopefully we'll be able to take a look at it in due time. So thanks, guys. Signing out.